So I first met Christopher when he was about 16 months old, and he was moving from a temporary foster home to the Pierceys.
I thought he was absolutely adorable, and he's a lot like he is today, very, very busy, very curious.
He was really, really active, kind of a little bit demanding. They were incredibly patient.
We wanted to be around him. We wanted to be there for him.
We were at the point of adopting him, and we were having some issues.
So Christopher had some sleep issues. He was getting up a lot at night and was strong enough and clever enough to know how to unlock doors.
We have animals, and we have the train, which he absolutely loves, the train.
Yeah.
So we were concerned for his safety.
And they self-disclosed that to their caseworker, and they interpreted that as harmful to the child. And so within a day, he was taken out of their home.
Nightmare.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
One of my worst days of my life. The lady, the DHS lady that came in, said that day, you're not going to get him back. And that was like devastating to me. So.
The decision was made based on the rule. What's hard in a bureaucratic setting is to be able to step back and say, for this kid in this circumstance, the rules aren't working, which is the amazing thing about Jerry's perspective. A CASA volunteer is able to understand a family and a child or a sibling set in a way that an attorney or a caseworker is never able to. Her job is to look at him in context. So she was able to look at the decision, look at the plan to send him to another state, to a family he'd never met, and said, this isn't what's best for this child.
It was the only home that he's ever really had, and the only parents that he's ever really loved. I mean, all the studies show what you cannot do to children of that age, and it's you can't remove them from stable environments and expect anything good to come of it.
I think it was very confusing for him, because we would go and visit, and he didn't understand why he was not going with us, and he'd say, don't leave me, and things like that. It was really hard.
So that's how I got my marching orders for what to do next, asking the court to order DHS to find an expert opinion about the effect on him of having to leave this home. He saw a very wonderful psychologist who agreed with Jerry. This is his home. This is where he needs to be.
We were elated.
We were just elated, jumping for joy. It was like winning the lottery. His name is Christopher Piercey now.
I'm Lily's brother.
But we did have faith, and a lot of the faith came from Lynn and Jerry, the CASA.
Yeah. She never lost sight of the fact that this is a child who needed to be back with Ted and Kathy, because this was their family.
To me, she's an angel. She's our angel. She's always been there for us. She's always been there for Chris. She's just always there. She's always compassionate.
In my 3 decades work as a pediatric social worker, I never had the luxury of just focusing on one child. State agencies represent the child, but also have to take into account all the other factors. But the really nice thing about this role is you get to put the child's needs first.
Christopher, what animals do we have out there? Cows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10.